Caramel Thunder, Miguel Baeza, my man. 10-1 in his MMA career, 3-1 in the UFC, minus 150 favorite, deservedly so. But he is coming up against a fan favorite, one of the favorites here on this platform, in Khaos, the Ox Fighter Williams, with the plus 125 comeback, AJ. Khaos Williams showed us something a little bit different in his last fight, my man, in his fight against Semi the Jedi, the man who was just starching people with one punch. It seems like he just hits them with that right hand and they go to sleep. But Khaos Williams was able to edge him out with the decision. We know one thing about Khaos Williams, my man. He has a big right hand, massive power, likes blitzing combos. But Miguel Baeza is probably the worst matchup that we could have for this guy, because I believe, AJ here, and I don't want to speak too strongly here, Baez is the full package, brother. I truly believe that. He lost his last fight to Santiago Ponzinibbio, a true veteran, a man who's like, give me top 10 fighters, a man who's been in the rankings forever. And listen, man, the dude is 29 years old. Like I said, 11 fights in his MMA career. It's understandable to have that hiccup against such a veteran of the game. But aside from that, I think that was the one loss that he needed to become that next evolution of the fighter he is. I think this man has future champion written all over him, my man. Like, I don't even think it's going to be a question. It's a matter of when as opposed to if. But he has to get through Khaos Williams first, my man. So tell me off the bat, AJ, because I know you're a fan of Khaos, what is one thing that Baeza needs to really watch for to avoid going to sleep here against Khaos Williams, a man who could put you out with just one shot? What do you think?
I agree with you, Derek. I do think Baeza is the full package, especially on the feet, on the ground. However this dude wants to get done, he's very slick. I think his only biggest flaw in the game plan is dumping that gas tank, and we really saw Ponzinibbio able to take that over. Once he was able to survive that first round of chaos that Baeza was bringing, that Caramel Thunder was bringing, then he was able to start really working that shots. And the only thing I didn't like about Baeza's style is he paused at that jab. He'll keep his guard high. I'm a big fan of keeping your hands right above, about eyebrow level. And he'll keep one hand up, perfect, nice height, but he'll paw at the jab with the other one. And every time he sees that paw or that jab coming, he tries to paw it in like he's holding mitts for somebody. He sees that jab coming, he hits that hand going forward. All that does is set up once you hit that jab, you give one feint, they throw that hand out, come around the top with the left check, left hook. Watch out for that left hook of Khaos Williams, because we all know he has power in the right hand, but he also has power in his left as well, man. I could easily see a KO happening here. And we know Miguel Baez, he's going to be spamming that leg kick right from the jump. So if he throws a leg kick kind of unblocked or unset up, and then Khaos Williams is able to get him biting on that feint, pawing at that jab, oh, it's going to be interesting to see how this fight does, man. This was that one fight I was talking about before that made it to the actual main card that I wanted to be a sleeper, but it's almost too easy. It's almost a layup, man. This fight's going to be absolutely crazy. What do you think, Derek? What's one way Khaos can get it done against Baez in this fight? Because I agree with you. This dude is a total package and has champ mode made for him.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Well, it's funny because I agree with what you said. It's literally the top note that I have on Khaos Williams. It says, watch for his left hook, money sign, money sign, money sign. Like this left hook is money, bro. Like, that's the thing you got to be careful for, because what he'll do is he will set that thing up for you, right? Get you so worried about that right hand, then just come with that big left hook. Ooh, my man. Listen, dude, he's 12-2, 6 knockouts, 1 submission, 5 decisions. So it's not necessarily like Khaos Williams is this I touch you, you go to sleep fighter, but he has the capacity because he's fast, he's technical to a degree, right? And, the accuracy is what lends to these KOs oftentimes. I think the big things that Baeza needs to watch for is not allowing himself to get into a firefight. I think if he wants to win, you stay at distance, you work the calf, you start with the calf and work your way up. That's basically his game plan every single time. And really, really put money in the bank into that calf in the first 2 rounds, because if you do that, there is no more pop on that right hand, on that left hook come round, late round 2, early round 3, late round 3, right? So do that. And the other approach is, hey, I don't have to stand with you. I'm a BJJ black belt. I'll take you to the ground and let's see what you could do off your back. You know what I mean? But AJ, I have to ask you a question, because there's one man who is infamous on this platform. We talk about him oftentimes when we're talking about how fighters should not defend in terms of striking. And that's when the chin is sky high. And that's when, you pull a Dusko Todorovic, right? Khaos Williams has some Dusko in him, my man. After his long combos, that chin is sky high. And in his last fight against Semi, let's say he got popped a couple times, man. Clean, where his jaw is just high and just doop. He's able to take it, though, my man. He's never been knocked out. Neither has Miguel Baeza. So that's one of those questions where it's like both of these granite chin dudes going at it, man. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. Big question here on this one, AJ. How is the teep of Miguel Baeza, which is a big weapon that he uses often, going to impact the offensive approach of a Khaos Williams? Because Khaos has the striking advantage, or he has the reach advantage, 77 inches to 74 inches for Baeza. But that teep, I mean, feet are longer than, or legs are longer than arms and whatnot, my man. Do you think that's going to make it troublesome for Williams to be able to close the distance?
I do, man. I think it's a big weapon that Baeza needs to utilize, especially going low to the calf, and then thinking, have Williams thinking, okay, I'm gonna go low, but boom, hit him in the chest with that teep kick, hit him, thighs, keep that basically as your jab, as your push jab, keeping him away. I think it's a very big weapon that we're gonna see utilized. Now, how does Khaos Williams get around it? That's the hard part. That's the one we got to figure out because of that lateral movement. Williams, I have that exact same note about Khaos Williams. He has these long combos, beautiful long combos, and as long as he's throwing, he can't get hit. Yeah. But the second he stops, that chin is sky high, and he's sitting there taking pictures, admiring his work he just did. He's like, yeah, I just hit an 8-punch combo. Man, I'm feeling good. Chin is up in the air right there. It has that great blitz style, very good power, very, very great boxing as far as when the punches are coming out and being thrown. Those hands are coming right back. They're good technique until that combo ends, and he's like, yeah. You can tell he gets a little excited about it. He gets caught at the end of his combos, especially in that Semmelsberger fight, but it's going to be interesting how he's able to deal with the legs because, like you said, he does have that reach advantage. But how are the legs going to be affecting this fight going forward is what I'm interested to see.
Yeah, man. I mean, me too, honestly. It's going to be the big question. Like, we have no answers here, folks. Only questions. It's going to be a fun matchup. I think the biggest question that I have, which might go unanswered, but I guess this is the last one to leave on before we actually talk, who wins and why. Both of these fighters do their best work when they're leading the dance, but you can't both lead the dance in one fight, right? So the question is, who do you think is going to fight the best if they're on the back foot, Baeza or Williams? What do you think?
I also had an iteration of that question for you, Derek. I honestly think Williams will be fighting better off of the back foot. He's willing to be able to let Baeza do his work, kind of play that back and forth motion. But when Williams does get far back, he blitzes forward, and that's when he's at his most dangerous. Where Baeza, he's really, really good off his front foot, doesn't necessarily have the power or the check hook ability in the counter strike. Who do you think is going to be leading more of the dance on that? That's what I wanted to ask you. Who's going to be leading the dance more often in this fight going forward?
I think Baeza is going to start and Williams is going to finish it. And the reason why I say that is because we saw it in the Matt Brown fight. We saw in the Ponzinibbio fight that Baeza doesn't he's a bully and he doesn't like to get bullied. And that's what they say. Bullies, like if you push back against the bully, they'll always wilt, right? Because they're not used to someone pushing back against them. And we saw in both of those fights, I mean, Ponzinibbio, dude, I think Ponzinibbio was only 6 feet tall compared to like the 6'3", 6'2" Baeza. He was way smaller and he was walking him down come the end of round 2, round 3, my man. So I think Williams will be able to eventually get the fight where he wants it, but Baeza is going to start strong and you're not going to be able to pressure forward that way unless you can get through those calf kicks. And Ponzinibbio was a rare case, man. He ate so many calf kicks and he was still able to push forward. Not every fighter can do that, my man. Not everyone is as mentally tough as the Argentine Dagger. So, 100% takedown defense for Baeza, 0% for Khaos Williams. I never really know what they mean when they say that in the UFC stats. I don't know what that means. Is no one ever attempted to take down on him? I know most of his fights, he's on the feet. So, I guess we'll see. 4-1 are both of these fighters in their last 5. Notable wins for Baeza is Takashi Sato and Matt Brown. I mean, come on. You finished the immortal Matt Brown. What are we talking about here? But for middleweight, or for our middleweight Khaos Williams, Abdul Razak Al Hassan, right? That KO round 1 against him. And then Alex the Great White Morono, KO round 1, my man. Who wins this fight and why, AJ?
Yeah, man, this was one of those ones where I had a little bit of trouble going back and forth, trying to think of who's going to do it, how it's going to get done. This fight's going to be very fun from the jump. But me personally, man, I'm going Khaos Williams by decision. I'm rocking with the underdog on this one, man. I'm going decision. I think it's going to be a very, very long fight, kind of back and forth with Baeza gassing out. As long as Khaos can withstand that first round of trouble. then I think it's going to be better, smoother sailing for him going forward. I'm going Williams by decision. What about you, Derek?
Okay, well, I'm going to rock with Baeza here. Like I said in the beginning, I think he's the full package. I think that as long as he could stay away from that big right cross of Khaos Williams, I think he'll be safe. I think he has more weapons, and he can take it to the ground if he needs to. I don't know if Williams can really do that. Baeza has really good hips, man. He gets down on those sprawls. And you already answered another question for me, my man. And I'm going Baeza by decision as well, man. I think that this one's going to last a while. But you answered another question for me because the over-under on this fight is... Actually, guess the over-under, AJ. What do you think the over-under is on this one for rounds?
Oof. Honestly, I'd probably say about 1.5.
Yeah, you've been on the money with these ones. Yeah, 1.5 for this one, my man. Minus 175 for the over and plus 145 for the under. So I'm with the odds makers. I think it's going over a round and a half. But I think it's going to go full decision. You know, they're probably thinking someone's getting stopped earlier in this fight. We'll see what happens. I'm rolling with the over. You're rolling with the over. Listen, cash it in, folks. What else do I need to say?